Hi again. So as promised, this is a shorter video about using cloth nappies on a newborn baby. The newborn period, obviously, you've just had a baby. That's the big thing. Newborn babies need a lot more changing than an older baby does. The poo is liquidy after you've got through the meconium stage. Liquidy, explosive, frequent, good sign that they're getting enough food in if they're having frequent poos. And newborn babies usually are on the slimmer side with very, very slim little tiny legs, and they need changing a lot. So newborn cloth napping isn't quite the same as maybe trying cloth nappies on an older baby. It's absolutely possible to use the nappies that I've talked about in the intro video on a newborn baby. So you can get newborn sized pockets, you can get newborn sized all-in-twos, you can get newborn sized all-in-ones. However, it goes without saying that they still cost a fair amount of money. Newborn babies need changing between 8 and 12 times a day. So if you think about how many nappies that might be, it's quite a lot. Often parents find that they intend to start using cloth from birth, but sometimes if there are feeding issues, or you're in hospital for a little bit longer than you planned, or for lots of other reasons, you're tired, you've got lots of washing to do already, you may not start. Many newborn sized nappies fit a very small weight range, so some will fit from around £6 up to about 12, and before you'd need to move on to the birth to potty size, which means sometimes by the time you try the nappies out, you've not got very long in them, or actually by the time you get around to it, your baby's outgrown them. And obviously there's a cost involved, and then you need to go and buy another set. So if you do want to use cloth from birth, you don't want to spend too much money, you do want something that's going to be flexible because you don't know how size your baby's going to be, you want something that's easy to wash, easy to dry, what do you choose? So this is really an introduction to flat nappies. So flat nappies are nappies that don't have any elastic in. They go around the baby much like the fitted nappy that I showed you in the previous video, but you do the folding and the fastening yourself. So terries, most people know about terry nappies. This is a 50cm square terry nappy bamboo. This is a flat nappy that you, as you know, will fold around and then put a cover over the top. Muslins make wonderful nappies for newborns. This is a muslin, and this can be folded very much like you would a terry nappy to go again around the baby, and then you put the wrap over the top and you put a liner in if you want to. The flat nappy I really love, and the nappy that I talk about at my demos and including kits, is the pre-fold. So this isn't square, this is a rectangular piece of fabric, this is cotton, and it has a very thick central panel here. And this can be folded in a number of different ways for newborn babies and actually for older babies. So if you buy them intending to use them on your little one, and then you find you've forgotten about them or you don't get around to using them, you can use them in different ways in other nappies. Now with pre-folds, the best way of using them on a newborn is to fold them and put them around the baby. So if you can see, this has handy lines down it. So first of all you fold into a rectangle like so. Now I'm going to try and do this so you can see and keep it together. Then you open up the wings. So this is the back of the nappy, it's going to go up the back like so. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, yeah, cloth, this hasn't got fastening on it, what do I do? How do I use pins? What do I do to keep it on my baby? This is the liner, just adding that in, and that's where these come in. So this is a nappy nipper or a snappy, and it works by gripping onto the fabric, the pre-fold, the terry or the muslin, with these tiny teeth that you might be able to see there, and it holds the nappy in place. They're really handy and to have, just so that you can actually keep the nappy in place. Now I don't have a newborn baby, I have my handy demo teddy that some of you may know, and not very newborn sized, but gives you the idea. Okay, if I move this towards me, so this is the back of the nappy. So with cloth nappies, and we can do a fitting video separately, but I'll talk through the basics while I do this. The nappy doesn't need to go far up the back. Really just needs to go the back of the nappy just above the top of the bottom. But that's because most cloth nappies and wraps, the waterproof bit, have really great elastic in the back that will stop the poo going up the back of the nappy. So then we've got this fabric here. So we just pull that up in between the baby's legs, trying to get as much as possible the fabric into the creases there. Now that's really high, my baby. Let's move it along a bit. So we can fold that down, and if we want to, we can fold out at the front. There are different folds, so this isn't the only one. There's loads of resources out there with different folds. And then we bring those wings around, and that's when we bring in our nappy nipper. So we just grasp that, and then we pull it over with the other wing. I'm a chubby little teddy here. Sorry, Teddy. And grip on there, and then grip there. So we have a nappy on, and then we cover that nappy. So newborn, small, extra small sized wraps are great for making sure you get a really good fit around the leg. You don't want your wrap to be gappy around the leg. Again, fairly low down the back, but just obviously so that you're covering the back of that nappy. And with cloth nappies, we're fitting into the crease at the top of the leg, the knicker line. We want as much as possible, we want the elastic off of the leg because it can rub, it can cause leaks, and it just gives a nice trimmer fit, which is often what parents want, particularly when their babies are tiny. So you just do a bit of a scrunch and pull up. So we then move it around there. We're going to just pull out the slack there. You can see, not all the rest. And again, down the other side, pull out the slack. Velcro fastening wraps often enable you to overlap tabs there, so you can get a good fit. So we're just going to check. Obviously here you can see a bit of the nappy, so we just want to tuck that in. And we've still got a little bit of gaping there, which is what we don't really want. We want the elastic to be snug against the skin. Not too snug so you can't get a finger in comfortably, but not too tight, because otherwise you might find, particularly on newborns, where their legs are very, very slim and not a lot of fat under the skin, they can get quite marked. It's sort of a sock mark, which can be a bit frightening for parents, but actually, as long as it fades, it's not a problem. So we've got that system on. Now, that pre-fold hopefully will absorb what can be changed, and potentially if the wrap isn't soiled, you can reuse that. What I suggest sometimes for parents is pre-folds, muslins, anything that fastens with the snappy is a really good option during the day, but it may not be that you want to be doing this at night time, so that's when you'd be bringing in your fitted nappy with the wrap over the top. And that system is both, it's reliable, you've got less likelihood of leaks, it's inexpensive, pre-folds, brand new, they're very cheap, second hand, they're incredibly cheap. Often you'll see them on groups for £10 or £1 each, or even free. They are amazingly easy to wash. If you've bought them second hand and you're not really sure about how clean they are, you can pop them on a 90-degree wash as a one-off. They dry very quickly because they've got a massive surface area, so they're great for that. And then as your baby gets older, when you don't really want to be doing that anymore, you don't want to be fastening, you can fold them in different ways and put them in a pocket nappy, put them in a wrap, and just fasten without putting the whole thing around the baby. What I would say as well with newborn nappies is it's absolutely not all or nothing. Even one nappy a day is going to help you just get into that rhythm of using cloth nappies, seeing how they work for your baby, practicing the washing, putting them on. But also in the longer term, it saves them going off to landfill if you live in an area which landfills, or incineration, which is what we do in Waltham Forest and some of our surrounding boroughs. Now, obviously, if you don't want to buy nappies for the newborn stage, I lend kits that you can have some choices of different nappies in, which kind of bridge that gap between birth and when your baby is big enough. And obviously, buy second hand can be a really cheap way, or use your Real Nappies for London voucher to do that. But if you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments, and hopefully I will see you soon with another video. Okay then.